Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. We are all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. We do things differently here on this channel, so with that being said, if the message does happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. And there may be triggering statements that arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, keeping in mind that triggers are a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. Your time and your energy are a true blessing today, and I'm honored to be sharing it here with you. Let's go ahead and hop into our prayer, and we'll get your reading underway. Today we are doing what's next in love. So for those of you that have been with me, we just recently passed my 3-year anniversary on this channel. It has been a wild ride. There have been really amazing situations that have unfolded in my life because of all of you that have been supporting the channel, and I want to say thank you so much. And of course, we always believe we're going to be so much further than we are when we get there, but understanding that everything is unfolding in divine timing and trusting that process. I truly just want to say thank you to those of you that have been here with me this time, whether that was from the get-go or as you've been joining along the lines. I'm truly, truly blessed and honored for each of you in my life. My beloved source, this prayer is for anyone and everyone that comes onto this reading. Today I ask that you help us open our hearts so that we can receive love into our lives, whether that's romantic love, friendship love, or just our own love as well. Knowing that sometimes receiving love can be such a challenge in this journey because we've been hurt, we've been betrayed, we've been left behind and abandoned. We've been overwhelmed and controlled. We've been hurt, abused. The pain has been a very real experience of our journey. And it becomes increasingly difficult for us to trust that we're capable of finding love that is unconditional in our lives. Love that is free, love that is compassionate, love that is open, love that is safe. But this is what you promised us. This is what each of us is meant to experience in this waking realm, because it is the essence of who we are in the spiritual world. It is our soul that is seeking resonance within our soul. To find that helps us remember who we are. And I know that you are guiding each of us to draw closer to that unconditional love. And my prayer is that you help us all recognize that path so that we can walk it without reservation, without resistance, and open our arms to receiving that which you have destined for us along this path in love. As these words are spoken upon this tribe and onto this reading, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Hase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. All right, let me get that set up over here. I totally forgot to pick dice for you for some reason, so I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so this is what I usually do. Oh, nice. We got Neptune twice. Interesting. Okay, so today I really felt called to using the Spiral Oracle deck by, Lily Arcana. I don't know. She signed her name on these and it's hard to read. Her signature, Lily Acuna. There we go. The Spiral Oracle. These are such great cards. Now, I will have to observe these cards off screen during the reading because there are some that are inappropriate for YouTube and their policies, but these are still very beautiful cards. So, what's next in love? What is next in love? Source, how would you help us answer this question for my fellow humans? What's next in love? Okay, thank you. What's next in love? All right, pile number 1. What's next in love? What spiral oracle card will help us better understand this message today for pile number 1? What's next in love? Thank you. Okay, pile number 2. Wow, I can hold on to the cards. Pile number 2. What's next in love? What spiral oracle card will help us better understand this message today for pile number 2? What's next in love? Thank you. All right, pile number 3. What's next in love? What spiral oracle card will help us better understand this message? Thank you. What's next in love? So collectively, let me check out what's on the bottom of the deck. Okay, we've got Lucid Dream. I love these cards. They're absolutely gorgeous. Just the colors are incredible. Very psychedelic energy coming through here. Lucid Dreams. This feels like there's going to be a situation across the collective that's happening where you're connecting with someone and you're going to be wondering, is this real? Is this something that's real, or am I dreaming? You're going to be aware of your actions. You're going to be very conscious of the steps that you're taking forward. And you're going to find that there's a very deep connection between you and this person. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic love, but considering we're in February, that's definitely a high focus for this reading. But, you know, take it as it resonates. It could be for friendship, for soul tribe, for family, or romance. Okay, so I do feel like there's just this energy of experiencing something incredibly different with this person, where you're going to be seeing things through new eyes, a fresh perspective in your life and in love in general. You're going to be opening up to something that you thought only existed in your dreams, or only existed in the spiritual realm, or only existed outside of your reality, not something that could be held within your container. And that's what's coming through, is that you're going to be able to hold this love within your own container, within your own space. I feel like this is a gift from the divine, that this is something that they're giving to you for the effort that you've put forward on your journey, for the effort that you've put into your life and through your healing as well. This is also something that you're intuitively getting drawn to. So while this might be a gift from the divine, intuitively your soul is leading you towards this as well. It's like that which you are seeking is also seeking you. That's this energy that's coming in. I want to look at this card for a minute, because it's like there's an opening of the heart. But this also feels like this is a realigning of the chakras as well. So if you've had any of your chakras that were maybe a little bit more less active, or ones that were highly active, overactive, right? This is like bringing all of that back into balance, so that you're finding inner alignment within the love. And there's something that's very ancient about what's coming in love for you as well. So this is like a recognition. And I'm not here to put labels on anything. That's not what I'm here to do. I know it's easy to put labels on things, but I feel personally that labels limit us from experiencing the truth of what's unfolding in front of us. And oftentimes we become so transfixed by the label itself that we are doing ourselves a disservice instead of really being present with what is. And so this is going to be like nothing that you've experienced before. This is going to be someone that's walking next to you, and they're going to be feeling the very same way. Like, are you a real person? Where did you come from? You know, you're like basically the person of my dreams. I can't believe that you exist, but I'm so happy that you do. And this feels like a true aligning of the heart chakra as well. This is like almost like make your heart burst in love type energy. It's a very beautiful, pure energy that's coming in. Let's see what lucid dream says from the book. Lucid dream. My consciousness is able to move in different spheres of reality. Yeah, so it's not going to feel real, but it is real. One of the spheres is the world of dreams, an important part of my life. I dream every single night, even if I often don't remember what I dreamt. The lack of connection with the world of dreams has many sources. One is that humanity has been reduced to unconsciousness in order to adapt to the model of civilization in which we live. So that's just really pointing out to this energy of, right, disbelief. I didn't believe that I could create something like this in my life, or I have basically given up on love in general because it just doesn't seem like it's going to be a reality for me, right? That disconnection because of civilization, where we're at. The more conscious I am while awake, the more conscious I am in my dream reality. Today, I deeply appreciate how important the world of dreams is to my daily life. In it lies valuable information about myself. Recovering my dream reality allows me to playfully explore my being, face my fears, welcome questions, find answers, expand my consciousness, and gather creative resources from within. How asleep can one be when one is aware of being in a dream? Yeah, so this is an awakening. The image here, the potential that we have. When I visualize, imagine, or dream my future reality, I become an artist of what is to come. I extract ideas from my dreams and create a model with the unlimited resources of my mind. I may not yet be able to understand in their entirety the things that I am capable of doing or knowing. However, there is an unexplored world of infinite potentials waiting for me, an inner fire pulsing and longing to grow, longing to warm the other side of humanity. Imagination will often carry us to worlds that never were, but without it, we go nowhere. Yeah, so this is going to be a very creative connection that's coming in, I feel, for the collective on a whole. And I actually really love this right here where it says, when I visualize, imagine, or dream my future reality, I become an artist of what is to come. And we're talking about what's next in love. So we're source really coming in and showing like this is a pinpoint saying this is what's to come, is something that feels almost surreal in a way, but something that is I feel like you're going to be deeply grateful for as well, right? And we deserve that. Like, we need a break in love as a collective. I feel like there's just been so much that's happening, and everybody's been healing from trauma and from broken hearts and dealing with difficult relationships in the past, that, you know, it's time for us to start receiving that unconditional love. But we had to go through those storms, right? We had to go through the eye of the storm in order to ground ourselves in our own love for self. And now I feel like as a collective, we're seeing that begin to shift. And that shift is bringing in partners, it's bringing in soul tribe, it's bringing in connections of like-minded individuals, because now we're ready to receive it from others as we've given it to ourselves, which is very powerful. All right, so for pile number 1, we do have this dice with Neptune on it for you to choose from. Or we have this little unicorn pendant. For pile number 2, we have this dice also with Neptune on it. Or we have this little banjo pin for you to choose from. In pile number 3, we have this dice with Uranus on it. Or we have this little turquoise horse pendant for you to choose from. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And whichever pile you feel called to, that should be the pile for you. And I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Neptune on it, or perhaps you felt called to this little unicorn pendant, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what's next in love. We're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things differently here on this channel, so with that being said, if the message does resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. There may be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, keeping in mind that triggers can also be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. With that, your time and your energy are a true gift and a blessing today, and I'm honored to be spending them with you. So let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what's next in love, pile number 1. Source, what would you like to share with us today? What's next in love for pile number 1? What would you like to come through? What's next in love? Also, very quickly, if you haven't, there is a collective message reading at the very beginning of this video, and it is timestamped down below. I just feel like I need to mention it for you, pile number 1, because oftentimes you are a continuation of that message. Not always, but a lot of times. So if you're interested or feel called to, you are more than welcome to check that out. And remember, there's no obligation to watch more than one reading with me. So I'm just pointing that out. Okay, so what's next in love? Interesting. We've got the 4th house, we have Cancer energy, and we have Venus. Yeah, okay, so I'm glad I mentioned that collective reading. This is very similar energy to that. There's something here that's coming in that is going to be beyond your wildest dreams. It's going to be a very rooted in unconditional love type situation. And this is going to be very profound. There's going to be someone coming in that's very loyal, very dedicated to you, dedicated to making sure that you are affirmed, right? Like that they're affirming their love for you, and that you're assured that they love you. Like they're always going to be telling you how they feel. And for some, that may seem very overwhelming, but I actually feel like for people who've had their heart broken so many times, or have been left in situations wondering like, what's wrong with me? Why does this person not love me? Or, you know, like they only say the bare minimum. If you've ever only received the bare minimum, like you only get I love you on your birthday or on holidays, right? Having somebody that affirms their love and how they feel for you every day at first can seem very overwhelming. But there's something that happens once you sit with that overwhelm and allow them to be that way. You're going to find a safety within that as well. And it's going to be very healing and nurturing. And so what's next in love for you is, this is something that's healing. What's coming for you in love is healing. And it is going to help you recognize your worth and your value and how amazing you are. There's a lot of compassion that's coming in, a lot of kindness, and a lot of receptivity. Someone opening up to receive you as you are. And I feel like for you, pile 1, this is something that is also equally uncomfortable. It's not something that you don't want. You do want that. But at first, I feel like it's very uncomfortable because you're waiting for the other shoe to drop when it comes. You're waiting for you to do one thing or anything or say the wrong thing that makes this person like, oh, I knew you were like that. Like, I didn't want to say anything at first. Come back with some negativity on you, right? And they don't. And I feel like that's the discomfort is like, how can I feel safe falling in love when I'm so used to being in survival mode? Like, and that's something that you've learned from, you know, your parents, your guardians, the people who were in your life taking care of you. And that's what they learned from their guardians and their parents and the people who were taking care of them. So to step into a stage of unconditional love is something that not even your ancestors might know, especially with the 4th house and Cancer energy here. This feels like this is going to be a new generation of that. And it's going to be something that's very stable, but very slow. Like, it's going to be slow unfolding. Like, even though you guys might connect really quickly, there might be a lot of conversations that you have. There's also getting to that pinnacle of having physical contact with this person or actually choosing to take things to the next step. That's going to be very slow, but it's for a purpose. And I feel like it's so that you can unfold and relinquish that need to hide yourself from the world. And you can really allow yourself to be who you are with this person, which is healing in and of itself. This is a very profound type of love coming in. And a safe, and I feel like that's something that needs to be said too, is that this is a safe love that's coming in for you, pile 1. And I feel like that's something like, I already feel there's so many people that just went, oh, finally, because I don't feel like many of you have experienced safety in connections, in any connection, friendship, family, lovers. Like, I feel like it's just always been fight or flight, flee or fawn. Like, there's always survival mode happening here. Like, how do I, make sure that I'm safe in this connection so that the other person doesn't, have a bad day, or so that they don't blow up and take something out on me. And I just feel like you are also a very acute empath. And so you're very aware of how other people feel. And this feels like someone who's going to come in that's also an empath. And being in that person's energy is actually going to be very, what's the word? It's coming in here. It's balancing, but there's a different kind of word they want to use here. Well, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So it's going to be balancing and harmonizing for you. And it's going to be de-escalating. That was the word. It's going to de-escalate situations that, were triggers from the past or that were very heavy for you to face. And you're going to start seeing those situations for what they are. So like, if you still have family that treats you this way, this love that's coming in, you're going to be able to stand a lot more proud and tall and confident in knowing that, yeah, I am an empath, but I don't have to carry their stuff. I don't have to carry that toxicity. I don't have to carry that negativity. And I can still be who I am. And if they're not giving me love, like, this person is going to help you see a lot of that. Receiving love after you haven't received love is a very unique experience. It's very beautiful, but it's oftentimes not quite like what we experience, we would imagine it would be. It's something different. It's a new experience. What's next in love, pile 1? Yeah. Moving away from a lot of those very heavy situations, those very toxic and red flags. Coming into a green flag after having dealt with red flags, it can feel uneasy. Someone who's committed, stable, who's spiritual as well. Yeah. We have the Fool on the bottom here. A new beginning. Let's see. The Mother of Wands. Someone who's incredibly attracted to you, just as you are. You don't have to wear makeup. You don't have to shave your beard. Like, you don't have to go and wear a suit. You don't have to be fancy. You can wear your backwards cap. You can go and wear your old glasses because your new ones are annoying. You can wear old clothes. You don't have to buy new clothes for this person. This person is in love with your soul. This person is in love with who you are as a person, not as a meat suit, but as a person. And they love that about you. They love your heart. They love your kindness. And this is someone who, I feel like for you, again, there's just this fear, this underlying fear that's coming up and that you're having to face on a regular basis for a little while. And that's the fear of, like, when is this person really going to show their true colors? And it's hard for you to imagine that someone would approach you in the very same way that you have approached everybody in your life. They are very protective of you, while at the same time they do not want to cage you. They want you to be free, but they want you to know that they'll be there for you no matter what. And I feel like this is the key to unlocking your heart. This is what is going to help you relinquish the hold of the past relationships that you've been in before. So whatever it was that was weighing on your heart from the past, the abuse, the heartbreak, the cheating, the stealing, the lying, the dishonesty, the not having integrity, right? All of these things that were weighing on you, this person is going to bring hope back into your life because of that. The greatest thing is here is that not only is this person in love with your soul, they want you to know that that's what makes you beautiful, that that's what makes you handsome, that how you look on the outside is only accentuated in beauty because of your soul, that there's nothing about you that they find flawed or imperfect or disgusting or weird or different, that everything about you is exactly as it's meant to be because it's what they want. It's what they've always wanted. And even if they didn't know they wanted you as you are before you existed in their reality, once you come into the reality, they're like, this is it. This is my person. This is who I've been praying for. This is the kind of individual that I want. This is also something that I feel like is built upon. It's interesting because I'm not getting any communication cards here in reality, but I feel like there's a lot of communication between you and this person, and it's very spiritual. It's very emotional as well. Like, this person doesn't hide from their emotions. They're not afraid to share with you about how they feel about things. They're not afraid to set boundaries with you. They're not afraid to receive boundaries from you. In fact, I feel like they're always doing things to make sure that you feel comfortable. And the minute you don't feel comfortable, okay, we're going to pull back, we're going to reassess, and then we're going to move forward again, because I don't want you to feel like you can't come and talk to me. And that's the type of energy that this person is giving off. They are recognizing that you've been through a lot in your life. And I feel like this person has been through a lot as well, but there's something about this person that sees you as needing the support, and that you need their support. And they might not share a lot about themselves at first because they're just being open to receiving what's going on with you. And it's not to use it against you. It's not to use it as fuel to hurt you. It's just they've recognized that maybe you've never had anybody to talk to about the things that you talk to them about. And they just listen, and that's what they're doing. And at the end of listening, there's always just I'm really sorry that you went through that, or if there's anything I can do, let me know. Or do you just need a hug? Do you need a hot cup of cocoa? Like, do you need some comfort food? Let me help you feel better. That's what this type of energy is. They're very supportive. And I feel like for you, you're like, why I want them to share with me. And you've told them that, like, I want you to share with me, or you will be telling them that. And they're going to share with you. They are, but I feel like they're just very tapped into how you're feeling, and they recognize that you've not really had someone to lift you up, to encourage you, and to be something that, to truly lean into everything that you can be. And that's what they want to do for you. And so they're really going out of their way, and they're putting in that effort for you because it means so much to them that you even gave them a chance. that you even allowed them into your energy. They're just, it's not even putting you on a pedestal. They just see you as like, this is the person I can grab a hold of their hand and we can walk side by side, growing and expanding and becoming something that we've always wanted to be, but only have dreamed of. And so this is going to be a brand new chapter for you. It's also going to be a brand new chapter for them. And I feel like both of you are going to recognize a lot of parallel experiences. And you're going to see how much wisdom has come from past experiences. But it's like everything that you were maybe struggling to forgive in your past, or everything that you were holding on to resentment wise, the minute you meet this person, you're going to realize like, oh my gosh, I understand everything that I went through is leading me on the path to this person right now. Like all the people who weren't right for me, all the people who, you know, left me with lessons that I didn't know I needed to learn, or all the situations that had happened along my journey, they opened me up so that I could understand that this is exactly the person that I want in my life. And the same with them. Like that's how they feel. They're very grateful about everything that's happened in their life, because that's it. Like you're the culmination for them. You're the pinnacle. You're the gift. You're the everything for them. And they want to show that to you. And it's not to say that you guys won't have your disagreements, right? But the truth is that when a disagreement comes up between you guys, you both are going to come together and talk about it like adults. It's not going to be a, I'm right and you're wrong and this and that and arguing with each other. That's not what this is. This is going to be a, wow, we disagree on this, so let's have a meeting of the minds and let's have a meeting of the hearts. And you're going to discuss it in a very calm environment. And if one of you has to go and calm down, the other one's not going to take that personal, right? Like it's going to be like, oh, okay, like I want to talk this through, but I want to make sure that we can talk about it and not say things that we're going to regret later. Like we need to really come together and make sure that we're calm. Or both of you are going to suggest, hey, we can't talk about this right now, so let's come back maybe after dinner, maybe before dinner, you know, whatever. It's like, let's come back later and we'll discuss this. But I do know one thing for sure is that the two of you will probably never go to bed mad at each other. Like that's just, it just really feels like you both will, if there's ever an argument, you're going to deal with it that same day. Like even if one of you is super, super upset, it's like the other one, like you're not going to let each other just boil over it, right? And so that's what this really feels like. And I feel like that's something that's very different for you, Pile 1. I feel like you've always had connections where it's like maybe you've spent all hours into the night arguing and screaming and yelling, going to work the next day without a voice. And that's not the type of situation that this is. This is a very peaceful situation. This is like coming back home to your soul with this person. You're going to see a lot of yourself mirrored in this person, and they're going to see a lot of themselves mirrored within you. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you both just want a very peaceful, loving, compassionate, all-encompassing love. And that's what this feels like here. Let's get some other cards out. Wow, it's a very powerful reading already. On the bottom of the deck, yeah, so we have the 7th house. Profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic relationships. So this is a new depth of relationship for you. A profound relationship for you. And I feel like it's just something that you're really going to enjoy and be very grateful for, this person coming in. And it doesn't mean it's without its fears or its trials or its tribulations. What it means is that it's not going to be what it was when there was a lot of resistance or holding on to toxic situations from the past. That's not what this is. There's going to be a lot of peace and comfort, and I feel like just support. Like the two of you are going to be very supportive of each other, and this is a rebirth for the journey ahead. Yeah. So we have Peacock Spirit, let it shine. A very heart-centric connection. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, even though this is more like from the heart space, more of the emotional body, it's like your emotional bodies have connected and collided and mingled with each other. It's not even the physical bodies. Even though the physical is definitely a blessing here, I feel like the thing is that you both are just going to have amazing conversations with one another. And you guys you know, it's not going to be like one-sided conversations. Both of you guys are going to put in the effort. And it's not going to be games either. This is not a game. It's like both of you are taking this very seriously. Like, you're both so sick of people playing games. Quit playing games with my heart. My heart. Right? Okay, Backstreet Boys, like, that's it. Like, you guys are so sick of that. And you're like, I'm ready to have something that's solid. And that's exactly what this is. Wow. So we have number 40 here. Be in the present and dream of the future. When we dream, everything is possible. Yeah, you might very well resonate with the collective message at the beginning, especially with this card coming in. But this is something that you've healed in this present moment. And now the future is turning into something that you could have only dreamt of. You know, it's almost like looking back at your younger self and thanking your younger self for coming so far and doing the things that your younger self did, and all that has brought you to this place of manifesting a love that you want. You know, it's interesting. I was going to say snakes might really mean something to you. And then because we've got the rattlesnake here with the Mother of Wands, and I just keep seeing snakes. Like, it's interesting. I'm seeing rebirth, but we got Britney Spears out from this deck, and she has this snake around her shoulders here. And so there might be, maybe you guys have pet snakes together, or that's something that you want. I know that is so specific, but it could also be that maybe somebody was born in the year of the snake, and you know, that's coming through, or someone has a totem with a snake, or there's something like maybe a snake brings you guys together, or they have a snake tattoo that's coming in. You have a snake tattoo. So that's coming out. We have when gambling with love. This is the lust. When gambling with love, hedge your bets. It says the marriage is take the risk of getting hurt, because being in love can be toxic, but the high is amazing. And it says trust your family to take care of you when you can't. Yeah, so I feel like this is interesting because, you know, like thinking about one of her most famous songs was Toxic, right? And that's what they're referring to here with the marriage line. And so I feel like that's interesting, because I feel that's a confirmation as to what I was saying earlier, is that you've had so many toxic relationships in your life. So many things that just is like staying up all night and screaming into early hours of the morning, just not being seen, not being heard, not being understood. And this is going to be a risk and a gamble. After having dealt with something like this can be a risk, a high risk, because I don't want to get hurt anymore. But what they're showing here is that it's going to be worth it. This is going to be worth the risk if you say yes to yourself and yes to this person. On the bottom of the deck, we have Oscar Wilde. It says, I can resist everything except temptation. So that's telling me that you maybe have been cheated on in the past. Hearts are made to be broken, and true friends stab you in the front. This line always gets me. True friends stab you in the front. You see it coming, right? Like, you see it coming, but you see it coming because they want you to defend yourself. And that's that energy, right? This is something that's like, so that's what I was saying. Like, if you guys have an argument with each other, it's not going to be, oh, I'm going to run to my family and talk about you behind your back. Like, no, you guys are going to talk to each other about it. Hearts are made to be broken. This is a very profound statement as well, because you think about it, it's like, I don't want to get my heart broken again. The truth is pile one, you'll never have your heart broken the way that the people in your past broke your heart. Why? Because you're not going to give away your power the way that you did then. In fact, you're not going to be giving away your power at all. So giving away your heart versus giving away your heart and your power. And that's what created a lot of that heartbreak before, because you're giving away your power with your heart. And so it was like, when things happened, they escalated very quickly. And that's what's not going to happen here. And I just feel like this is just that reminder, like, sometimes it's really hard, you know, like, well, what if they cheat on me? What if they do this? You know, I don't get this energy from this person that they're a cheater. I feel like they too have been cheated on. They've been betrayed. They've been hurt. But of course, that is always going to be a fear if you've been cheated on. That's something that's always going to be just at the back of your mind, like a what if. And so I feel like this person is going to be very aware of that, and they want to build this connection on trust, and they're doing their best to bring that trust to you. And of course, that is oftentimes easier said than done, especially when you do not trust easily. You know, and we shouldn't just give away our trust right away, but it's okay to allow yourself to let this person in. So I feel like grass is greener here. We have jealousy, better option, unhappy, deserve better. This is what I was saying, like the fear is there. The fear of them cheating, feeling like there's someone better for them than me. And in their mind, they're like, there's no one better than you. Like, you're the person I've always prayed for. Yeah, there's this magnetic attraction. You guys are very, very enamored with each other. Alluring, lust, irresistible, and flirting. I feel like you guys have some great banter. I feel like you guys have some really deep conversations too. Like, you guys talk to each other about everything and anything. Like, no topic goes unscathed between you guys. And I just feel like, and also you guys are very, very sexually attracted to one another. And it all shows in your conversations. It all shows when you guys are connecting with each other. But that can also be very, very scary, because you're going to feel the difference in this relationship versus the others. You're going to feel like you're giving more of yourself, and you are, in a sense, because you're actually letting this person into the depths of your heart, not just holding them at arm's length. But you're also not giving this person your power, and so you're going to feel more empowered because of that. We had Phoenix that flipped over. Exactly. This is a brand new chapter. Okay, new phase, a rekindling, renew and growth, changed mind, and rise from the ashes. And I feel like both of you are like this for each other. Like, you guys are a new chapter for each other, right? Like, it's the answer to a prayer. And that's what this feels like. And if you haven't yet, check out Ancestor Messages for You. I just posted that video right before I posted this one. The last pick a card I posted, because there was a reading in there that you might resonate with if you pick that one, but it might have further information for you as well. So yeah, there we go. On the bottom, wow, we have wedding rings on the bottom here. Union, marriage, soul connection, everlasting love, and devotion. I'm hopelessly devoted to you. So yeah, they're definitely devoted to you, and they're like hopelessly in love with you. They are hopeless romantics. I feel like this is someone who is gonna like set up a date. Like, I just get the picture in my head, like when you guys go to, like, maybe they take you to a hotel room and they take you out to dinner and they take you out to your favorite movie or whatever it is. And I feel like when they treat you, they're gonna treat you. It's gonna be like top notch. Like, I'm seeing rose petals all the way to the bed, candles lit, and like really romantic. But you know, like, they're gonna bring you your favorite cake. Like, even if the restaurant doesn't serve your favorite cake, like, they're gonna go and get your favorite cake and have the restaurant bring it to you. Like, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna go out of their way for you. So we have forming structures and a solid foundation. Yeah, they're gonna be a very solid connection in your life. You're the one that has to make this decision, though. No one's forcing you. Not even Source is coming in here and saying, like, you have to choose them. You're gonna have a decision to make, and that's okay. But I do feel like this person has the best of intentions for you, and the two of you are highly attracted to one another. Mars, hot attraction. Yeah, very, very, very profound sexual attraction here. Yeah, reflection, projections. That's what I was saying. Like, you guys are reflecting each other. But also at the same time, healing a lot of those projections that were there. Like, recognizing that maybe this person sees a trigger within you and they go and they heal it and they talk to you about it. Or you see a trigger within them and you go and face that on your own, and then you come back and you talk to them about it. And I feel like both of you are like, wow, I'm so glad that you did that. Like, you didn't take it out on me or anything like that. And then you both are like, no, I would never take it out on you. I love you too much. Like, I would never treat you like that. I don't want you to feel like you're at fault when I'm dealing with something from my past, right? Yeah, look, wow. Healing family issues. Exactly. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Yeah. So that's what's happening right now is healing from the past. All right. Trine. Angelic support, harmony, and perfect flow. This is a gift. This is a gift from source. This is a gift from the divine. Like we have beaver. Yeah. Look, solid foundation. Lay a solid foundation. Okay, this is a very foundational love, very unconditional. They see you, you see them. Like you both really care about each other. Back to what you love, reevaluate your desires. And I feel like that's that thing. It's like letting go of everything that you thought you knew about love and coming into a place of where love really truly resides. Excuse me. Also, I feel like this person is not, like, you're very attracted to them, but I actually feel like they're not your normal type, like the type of person that you go towards. And you're learning, you both are like that. I feel like you both are different from the normal type of person that you both would go towards. But like the minute that you meet each other, you're like, why have I never gone for someone like that? like it's just because it would have never happened that way, right? It was always meant to be this person. Yeah, definitely a new love here. Honeymoon phase, childlike, moving on, a new beginning. Again, we have that confirmation. We've said that this is like a new beginning. Mystery, unknown, enigma, illusion, confusion. Yeah, so this is a mystery. So if you haven't met this person yet, Source is not going to reveal when this person's coming or how they're coming, but this is what's next in love for you. This is something that's coming, and the surprise is a part of the process. Okay, and I do feel like there's some anxiety here with that. Stress, depression, panic attacks, and restless. So for those of you that this person hasn't manifested yet, it's like, well, when are they going to come? I need them right now. And that's the when we're in that state of needing something, instead of just recognizing, well, I want it, but I'm okay without it, I'm complete with or without it. That's where we're coming back to that stage, is recognizing that we're whole and enough with or without what it is that we want. And it's still okay to desire it. But if we're saying we need it, we're in a state of lack. So we have to come back to that state of internal abundance that always resides within us. The dragonfly, lighthearted and adapt, finding out and change, things coming to light and healing. Yes, this is going to be a very lighthearted connection. And I feel like that lightheartedness is what's going to create a safe container for both of you to unfold. This card doesn't come out often. And like I said, I'm not here to put a label on anything, but we did have the Twin Flames card arise. And it's interesting because I feel like for many of you, you're holding on to someone, believing with your heart of hearts that this person is your twin flame. But I feel like this new person that's coming in, look, I'm not going to say they are, they aren't. Okay. What I'm going to say is this, is that this new person that's coming in shows you a whole new side of love that the person that was your twin flame, or that you had designated as your twin flame, has never shown you before. And it's going to make you completely question how you looked at love this whole time, but in a very profound and deep way. So we have yin and yang and balance, union and duality, complement and polar opposites. Yeah. So there may be a huge age gap between you two as well. There doesn't have to be, but I do feel like there's going to be, like, there's going to be enough of a gap where like one of you, and I feel like it might be you, Pile One of you are going to be like, really, like, how are we going to get along? Like, there's this age gap between us, and Source is saying, like, just keep an open mind here. But I do feel like the thing is here is that there's a changing of perspective on how you saw the journey itself if you feel like you're a twin flame, okay? And that's not going to resonate with everyone, and just this is for those that resonates with, okay? So if you don't resonate with twin flame journey, cool, just leave that message, okay? Yeah. Love call, expressing love, messages of love, thinking of you and informing you. So this is someone who, again, I was saying that this is someone who's very communicative about how they feel. Like, they don't want you to question how much they value you. They don't want you to question their love. They want you to know that they love you, they adore you, they admire you, you're everything for them. And so this is someone who's going to say it all the time. It might get to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, this person says it every day. But there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that assurance. And you know what? Maybe assurance is one of your love languages. Like, you need words of affirmation, you need words of assurance. But even if it's not, the assurance is designed in this journey, because I feel like you've been through so much, pile one, that it's time for you to really receive a love that touches your heart, that's not just touching the physical body. Okay? Yeah, this is this is helping you to let go of limitations and fears, okay? And I feel like that has to do with this journey as well. Whatever limitations were there, whatever fears were there, this love is coming in to help placate those fears, okay? Yeah, playfulness. You guys are going to be having a lot of fun with each other. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I feel like you guys flirt really good with each other. You have a lot to say to each other. Like, you know, it doesn't matter the conversation, but I also feel like you guys are just really goofy with each other, and you let yourself be that way. Oh, look at that. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. That's what this is doing. This is healing you. And I feel like this is going to be with the wedding rings on the bottom of the deck over here. This is very well one of those situations where this could be your forever person in this lifetime. Okay, even if it's not who you originally thought it was going to be. And I know that's really hard for some people to let go of. But again, it's like if we're holding on to situations that are keeping us in limited energy, fear of not being enough, fear of having to do more to be loved, fear of having to heal even more in order for this person to heal. You know, like that, there's so many things with the journey itself that we're not seeing as red flags because we've grown accustomed to living in a life of red flags. And so when a green flag comes in and it actually pulls at those fears, we're worrying that we're letting go of the best possible thing that we have, when actually what's standing in front of us might be everything that we've asked for. And that's why if you've been in no contact for a long time and somebody comes in and they want to give you that love, it's worth exploring. You're not cheating. You're not doing anything wrong. And we need to get out of this mindset that we're cheating. Like, if someone has made the decision to not talk to us in this life, that was the closure. And we have to let that be the closure. And sometimes that's the hardest thing, because it can create a never-ending loop where we become so obsessed with that person because they never gave us the closure. They never said goodbye. They never did this. Well, what makes you think that you healing is one day this person's going to come back in and say, you know, I'm sorry that I walked away and I did this, but that's what everybody's holding on to, is for someone from the past to come back. But part of this journey is learning to live in the present, and what's happening in the present moment is what matters the most. So if someone comes into your present moment right now and you're still holding on to the past, you're never going to see the gift that Source trying to bring to you. So we have to let go of the past and allow ourselves to open up to the present, which is the gift itself, and be okay with that. We're not doing anything wrong, especially if Source is bringing us someone. It's not to test our resolve for the journey. That's not what this is. You're asking for a love of all loves. Source wants to bring that to you. But sometimes we get so stubborn and caught up in labels. That's why I said I'm not here to put a label on it, because personally, I've been shown through my own journey and through clients, and having observed this time and time again, labels are entirely too constricting. And they basically say, if this doesn't happen, then this can't happen. And that's not the journey at all. The journey itself is an enigma. It's the mystery. So open up to the mystery and the miracles that can be. And that's what I feel like Source is saying. So let's take a look at this card. I do have to look at this off screen to make sure that it is screen appropriate, camera appropriate. So let me see. Oh yeah, we've got this sacred geometry. This is what the whole of the universe was built on. And that's this love, this stable, all-encompassing love. And so this is something that is ancient, that's coming in. This is wisdom that was left by our ancestors, by the ancient civilizations that existed in this realm. This is knowledge that's been passed down through the vibrational degrees of source so that we could understand who we are. And that's the thing. It's like this love that's coming in is built on this sacred geometry. It's something that is so grounding. It's very profound and it's very deep, since the beginning of time type of energy. It doesn't, again, I'm not here to label this person. I'm not here to tell you this person is or is not your twin flame. I'm not here to tell you they aren't your soulmate. What I am here to tell you is what the energy is that's coming through. And the energy is very clear, is that this person could very well be the same, the person that you've been praying for, but coming in a different package. All right. So, sacred geometry says, order and chaos, despite being opposite, are intimately linked. What a powerful line. One does not exist without the other. It is the illusion of duality that makes us perceive them as different things, even though their essence is identical. Every chaotic situation is a moment of change and transformation with the potential to generate a new reality. Sacred geometry in this painting represents a metaphor of the order of the universe. It comprises dimensions, codes, systems, and symbols that represent the source of life, matter, and spirit. Today, the invitation is to address internal chaos with perspective. We said that, a new perspective on love. To welcome chaos is to allow the obsolete to be destroyed and transformed. What if we let go of what we thought we knew love was? What if we let go of what we thought the twin flame journey was? Today, I let things break and fall apart if that's the way it has to be. What goes away always leaves room for something new. This is the law of evolution, the universe, the galaxies, nature, and of human beings. I observe the movements of the universe within my day-to-day life, recognizing my resilience and personal strength within the ebbs and flows, observing the dance of chaos and the teaching it leaves behind on the path of learning. I realize that the destruction of ignorance marks the arrival of knowledge, order, and love. I understand that the nature of chaos and order transcends the label of positive or negative. The whole picture is my guide through uncertainty. I am at peace. Yeah, so letting go of the label and opening up to possibilities is what this energy is. But this is someone who is going to bring in, they're heralding in a new chapter for you in love. And it's a very profound and powerful, deep love. And I'm so excited for you. Pile number 1. Woo! So with that, if you felt like this was your reading, leave the little snake emoji down below and say, through my evolution, I close an old chapter in my life, opening the pages up and receiving this love that was meant to be mine for always. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. I would like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this truly powerful reading today. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Neptune on it, or perhaps you were called to this little banjo pin, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what's next in love. We're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. We do things differently here on this channel, so that being said, if the message does resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. There may be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, keeping in mind that triggers are a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. And your time and your energy are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm honored to be spending it here with you. So with that, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out What's next in love for you, pile number 2? Source, what would you like to share with us today? What's next in love for pile number 2? Also, I keep feeling this energy of a masculine that's coming in. So this could be your masculine, or you identify with the divine masculine, or there's a divine masculine that's coming in that maybe wants to say something. So this might not, you might be in contact with this person. You might not be, but I feel like there's a divine masculine that's planning something. That's what it feels like. We'll find out. Okay, so we have the 7th house, we have Taurus energy, and we have the sun. What's next in love? You know, it's interesting because I'm getting both separation energy as well as taking things to the next level. So maybe asking for marriage or asking for a relationship to go steady, if you will. But I am feeling both. Okay, like I'm feeling both of those energies here. And I feel like regardless of the situation itself, okay, the reason behind it is so that you can tap back into your self-worth. So even if someone's coming in to take things to the next level, can you keep loving yourself? Can you keep setting time aside for yourself? Can you keep doing the things that you've been doing, your rituals, your practices? And if someone's leaving, you know, can you keep doing these things too? Can you keep loving yourself? And can you keep doing these practices and these rituals? Because with the sun here, this is about how you're seeing yourself. And I feel like there's a divine masculine here. It really does feel split down the middle. Where there's one that's coming in and there's one that may be cutting contact, okay? And I'm sorry that that's what's coming. Like, that's not always, we get what we need, not what we want. And that's the thing. And so I feel like there's just this with the Taurus energy at the center of the dice reading here. It's just really pointing towards honoring your self-worth. So like if they're leaving, reminding yourself that it's not your fault. It's not because of you. It's because of where they're at on their journey and being okay with that. And if they're taking it to the next level, not losing yourself in that situation. So let's get some cards out because this energy, it's definitely different. It's different from pile 1 for sure. So this, yeah, I'm getting that too. Like someone's going to be proposing, someone's wanting to build a family with you, but I'm also getting that someone is overwhelmed by the amount of energy that you two have together and they want to reassess where they're at and they need space and time to do that. What's next in love for pile number 2, source? What's next in love? Someone's treating you like an option. Okay. Yeah, someone has a lot of temptations here. Okay. Yeah, so what's next in love? Source for pile number 2. Yeah. Like I feel it. Like, you know, and I don't read the RWS tarot. I read the Tarot Marseille. The Tarot Marseille, the 3 of Swords, talks about getting support from source, assistance from source. This is like divine intervention, basically. And so whatever it is that's happening next is divine intervention, right? So whether that's things going to the new level or whether that's things falling apart, this is divine intervention. This has to happen. And it has to happen because there's this essence of you losing yourself in the situation. And there's this it's almost like a harsh reminder to come back to self, but it's not actually about you. It just seems like that's what it is, right? Like, oh, I have to come back to myself because I lost myself. So as soon as, because there's going to be this want and this desire, pile 2, that as soon as I come back to myself, then this person will come back. And that's not the purpose of coming back to yourself. The purpose of coming back and taking care of, loving yourself, supporting yourself right now is so that you can find your value and your worth with or without this person. Okay, that's what this is. And so when we think about the RWS tarot, the Three of Swords indicates a broken heart. It indicates betrayal coming. And it is in the past position, technically, as the reading progresses. This is in the past position, but for it to be the first card out, it very much is confirming what I was feeling. I mean, it feels like either way, this could be, you know, someone leaving. This could be someone taking things to a new level. There's a choice. Okay. So I feel like also this is looking at that the reason why I'm seeing both sides, right? There's two roads that are parallel to one another. This is maybe you're going to make a choice, I want to stay. They're going to make a choice, I want to leave, or vice versa. You're saying I need to leave and they want to stay. Or together you're making a choice to take it to the next level. So this is definitely both of you making a choice in regards to this, in regards to love. Yeah, so either way, however it unfolds for you, love is promised, but they're not saying it's specifically this person, this masculine. Okay, that's not what Source is pointing at. It does feel like it's interesting because I feel like there's a masculine where you're on these parallel lines with, and so you never truly intersect with one another. But then here in the Two of Cups, we have this energy that is, oh my gosh, these roses are perpendicular. They're finally crossing paths. They've fallen into each other. And that's this energy. It's like, regardless of what has happened, or this may be a past energy that's coming through, which is why it's coming up. And it's like, well, I'm done with love, or, you know, like, I just don't care anymore. Like, I'm just going to focus on me. But I do feel like they're just reminding you that love is promised on your journey, whether it's with this person or not, that you're meant to have love in your life and something that's equal give and take, where you both fall into each other. Trusting the process is very crucial right now. Also, 777 is coming through, and that's a very spiritual number. It's a number of evolution as well, spiritual evolution, awakenings. And I feel like that's really profound to come through on what's next in love reading, because it's showing that right now you're in the process of an awakening. And I wish I could say that awakenings happened one time on our journey. I wish they only happened one time. And maybe I don't, because, you know, discomfort encourages us to grow. But awakenings happen in all different ways, shapes, forms, and different directions. They come in all different ways. So opening our hearts to that and remembering that, you know, anything can help us awaken to an even better understanding of ourselves. And I feel like that's what's going on here, is you're awakening to a better understanding of yourself. Yeah, okay. Look, we've got the Hermit on the bottom here. Yeah, this is coming into a space and time of reflection. So what's next in love is, it's not really so much about the relationship itself, but what it's instigating. And it's instigating a time of reflection. So regardless if this is someone wanting to take things to the next level, so this would be an example, is you're with someone, you're married, and say you want to have kids, but the person you were with, maybe they don't want kids, or vice versa. And so it's like, do I keep pushing? Do I keep pushing? Do I keep pushing? I really want kids now. I really want kids now. Like, I have to get pregnant now, or we have to get pregnant now. Like, that's the next step on our journey. But it's like, the minute that you're starting to force someone else to accept what you want and not taking into account their feelings and their emotions, right? And that's what this feels like. It's like, that's when we need to come back to reflection. Like, am I projecting my fears onto this person? So, you know, it's like, or if you really want to get married and you're like, well, you have to ask me to marry you, or I need to ask you to marry me. Like, we have to take this to the next level. So there's something about whatever it is that's unfolding right now in love. It's about, it feels out of alignment because there's someone or both parties here trying to force what they want onto the relationship without taking into account the way that the other person might feel. And so Source is reminding you here that love is promised, but I'm not going to promise you that it's with this person. Okay, because you can make different choices today that will change your destiny tomorrow. Like, that's life, right? So that's the thing. And we have to be prepared for whatever it is that's unfolding on our path. But I feel like why Source keeps telling me, like, don't focus on the person, don't focus on the person, don't focus on the person, is because there's something here that's giving you wisdom if you choose to go that direction and really truly reflect on what's unfolding in your love life right now, lack thereof, or what's really going on right now currently, or what's going on internally in wanting to maybe force someone, or you know, feeling like you're not being taken seriously, right? So wherever it is that you're at, and owning where you're at on your journey. And that's the thing that Source is saying here. It's like, this is really important for you to own your emotions and your feelings at this time, and to not give them away, to not give your power away, but also equally so not to force those onto everyone around you, which is very human of us to do. We will try to argue our point. Like, debates are a real thing in life. Like, everybody's constantly debating with each other about how they feel, and sometimes it's hard for us to hold opposing opinions in our own space with love and acceptance and compassion, because we want to be right. And that's the ego that's saying, I have to be right. And that's not necessarily what's going to move us forward in life. And so this is a reminder that home is where you're at already. Without anybody in your energy field, home is where you're at already. And making that a comfortable, safe space for you is the most important thing right now. It's not about the next step in this journey, even though that's coming on, right? Like, it's not about this person coming in and professing their love to you. It's not about them asking you to be their significant other. It's not about them asking you to get married. It's not about them asking you for a family. It's not about moving in together. Like, it's not what this is about. This is about truly coming into this space of self-reflection so that you can have an open heart for when love does come, because love is promised. Yeah. Right now, there is a recognition of the type of love that you want, but it's not yet solidified. Yeah, so it's like the hope of, okay, I understand, I want a love that's all-encompassing, that's unconditional, but it's not yet solidified because there's almost this doubt that you're actually worthy of receiving that love, or there's this doubt that you're not actually going to get that love, so you've given up on it. And so part of this reflection time and part of this integration is allowing yourself to receive support from the divine, okay? To receive that support. And in receiving that, you're going to be able to move into unconditional love for self. As you move into unconditional love for self, then you will allow space for your person, whomever they are. Maybe I should say this because it's a better way of saying it. Whomever they're meant to be, you're allowing space for them to show up exactly as they are. So there's definitely a lot of polarity in this reading, because there's a fear that's coming out that if I don't control some aspect of this, I'm losing control over what it is that I want. But if you're in a state of control, then you're in a state of fear. And being in that state of fear, you're not allowing love. And so that's why there's this, what's next in love is to allow reflection of self and realignment of self so that you can come into a space of unconditional love. And there's nothing wrong. You haven't done anything wrong. This other person hasn't done anything wrong. It's not about that. It's not about what you have done to each other. This is about the projections that you might either unconsciously be doing or you're consciously doing, and being hyper vigilant in bringing those into awareness. Just being aware of your actions, right? So like if you're wanting kids and say you're the woman, this is the easiest way to bring it from the woman. You're in ovulation. and all of a sudden you're in ovulation and you start making intimacy a chore instead of something spontaneous, right? That can be a control, and that can turn something that's meant to be fun and stress relieving into something that's super stressful, and now maybe he's having a hard time performing, or you're having a hard time performing even because of that. Now it feels like a chore. It just doesn't feel like we're really connecting. It just feels like we need to get this done. I need your seed. Let's get out, get on with our lives. Like there's no real intimate connection there. And that's what this is. And that's the type of energy that's coming in. And again, it's easier to use it as it's the children, but you know, it could even be marriage. Like maybe as the divine feminine, you like keep hinting at marriage. You keep hinting at marriage. You keep like, you're showing bridal books and you're showing marriage online and these shorts that come up about marriage. And it's like, I'm dropping all the right hints. The truth is that that's an essence of control. It's if we're trying to affect another person's outcome without being clear about it, saying, you know what, I need to have a conversation with you. I want to have marriage. Like I want this to go to the next step, so that you have a meeting of the minds, right? That is just trying to control someone's actions by hoping that they're going to understand where you're coming from. And so that's what this feels like. And again, this could be the other person doing this to you. Okay, and so that's what it feels like, regardless of who it is that is in this energy, or even if both of you are in this energy, it's okay. No judgment, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's something that's very human of us. It's something that we're becoming aware of as we are healing from our traumas and our past. What Source is saying is right now the main energy is to come back to self-reflection and inner understanding. So let's see if we can kind of get more on this, on what's coming through here. Yeah. North Node, destined to have. Love is something that's on your journey. What you want, like what you desire, whether that's, you know, a relationship, marriage, a family, you know, to travel the world, to be, you know, childless forever, whatever it is you desire. That's what you're meant to have. And trusting that you're meant to have that in a way that's going to be best suited for you and best suited for someone else in the picture. But if we're trying to force someone else to fit into our version of what life is, we're not allowing. And that's the thing. Like, unconditional love is allowance. It's acceptance as to what is, instead of trying to control. Control is conditional love. And so that's what it's coming into. Yeah. And I feel like this is taking a toll on you as well, your self-confidence. So if you're in a labeled journey and you're feeling like, oh, I'm not healing enough for this person to come in, that's taking a toll on your worth, on your self-value. We have self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity here with Leo. You could have Leo in the third house is coming in really strongly all of a sudden. But it's coming back to your confident self. It's coming back to your ability to recognize that you are enough right now. There's nothing you have to change. Look at this. Be fearless and bold, right? And sometimes we have to let go of fear. And fear is what's keeping us in this place of holding on to something that might not be serving us any longer. And that can do with, you know, labels. That can do with certain ideas or certain beliefs that, like, you know, okay, well, your first boyfriend and girlfriend, boyfriend and boyfriend, whatever, right? So you first get together and you're boyfriend and girlfriend, then you get engaged, then you get married, then you have kids, then you buy a house, whatever the situation is, like step by step. But love is spontaneous, and we don't need it to go step by step. We need to allow it to be what it's always going to be. Yeah, this and that are true. Sometimes it's easy to get stuck in those patterns of what civilization says or what societal constructs are. We're saying, like, that's the only way that it can be. Well, who says? You don't have to have kids by the time you're 20. Maybe you'll have kids when you're 50 and it'll be a huge surprise. You never know, right? Like, life is all full of twists and turns, but you know, the minute that we say it can't be anything other than what I expect it to be, then we've limited ourselves to the journey. And we're not allowing we're not allowing an opportunity for growth. And the Hermit's asking for spiritual evolution here. Spiritual growth. But in a very subtle way, right? Letting go of forcefulness and coming into quiet solitude. Okay, on the bottom, interesting, we have Henry VIII. Act like a gentleman and you'll feel like a king. A rose has its thorns. Cultivate kinder flowers. And loving a great deal means sacrificing a great number. And I feel like the main one that's standing out here is the bottom one with the family line. Is loving a great deal means sacrificing a great number. In order for us to come into the love that we always have wanted, you know, an unconditional type of love, we have to really learn how to see love differently than what we've always known. This whole world has been raised in conditional love. I'll only accept you if, I'll only love you if, you know, or when. It's like we put stipulations on accepting people or loving people, and that's what conditional love is. And unconditional says, I love you no matter what. Whether you agree with me or you would disagree with me, whether you're good, whether you're bad, whether you're kind, whether you're compassionate, whether you are this or that. Like, we get so caught up in feeling like, oh, it has to be exactly how I picture it in my mind. Otherwise, it can't be. That's the limitation. We have to sacrifice that. But it also means sacrificing our emotional ego. And our emotional ego doesn't really like that. It's not really okay with that. It's kind of like, I don't know, that feels really uncomfortable. So it's going to fight tooth and nail to maintain its image. Oh, okay. So you're getting all these all at once. I feel like one more wants to come out. What's next in love for pile number 2? And this is a hard reading. Look, I know, because it's not... Especially when it comes to love, everybody has this, oh, like, I want them to tell me that my person's coming tomorrow and we're going to have the best life forever. And, you know, I get it. I get it. I used to be like that when watching tarot too, but then I realized the power of tarot and how it reminds us that there's so much more out there than what we want to hear. And it's something much deeper if we allow it to be. Okay, so yeah, we've got cut down. Cutting out, separation, yeah. Stop the pattern and silent treatment. Yeah, so this is really profound energy because that's exactly what I've been feeling. It's like, you know, this could be someone wanting to go to the next level, and but I'm getting this separation energy here. So it does feel like there's separation on the horizon in love. And you know, again, I'm sorry that that's coming through, but I have to read the cards as they're coming. I have to read the energy. I'm not gonna just paint you a pretty picture and then when things fall apart you get mad. You know, that's not how this works. So, and honestly, pile 2, there's nothing that you can do to change this because it's not for you to hold that burden. And I feel like for so long you've been holding that burden, and that's why this is a stopping of the pattern. This is a changing of that energy, a shifting of that energy. Yeah, okay, so we've got Key on a Ring coming out on the bottom. Many options, and I said that. Didn't I say that this person has a lot of options? Unconventional, one night stand, and stringing along. Yeah, so there's someone here who's been stringing you along. Maybe they say all the right words. Maybe they say all the right things, or maybe they don't, but you're hoping for better. But this person's been stringing you along, and it's creating a lot of dissonance. Yeah, okay. What's next in love for pile number 2, source? I feel like one more wants to come through. What's next in love? Yeah. Okay, on the bottom, so Leo, Aries, Sag, we've got fire, and this is the ace energy, right? So a new beginning, but it's almost like you're falling away from something and becoming whole again and not realizing that you needed to, right? So we've got Pluto transformation that popped out first. So there's a transformation on the horizon, and then we've got third eye with clarity, beginning to see clearly, right? And it's not necessarily an exciting clarity, but it's a necessary clarity. Think about all the times that you've been given clarity along your journey. Sometimes it wasn't great. Sometimes receiving that clarity, you're like, man, I could have wished for anything else but that. But also knowing that it was necessary, right? Like, it was necessary to receive this. Okay. It's interesting. We had engagement. Yeah, so someone does want to take this to the next level. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So we do have engagement. So for some, this is like going to the next level. But I do feel like it's clear, and it's not supposed to be conflicting like that. Like, it feels like they're conflicting energies here. But I feel like that's that energy. It's like someone wants it to be an engagement, but there's someone who's holding back. That's what this feels like. Okay? Yeah, romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Okay. So let's see if we can get some more on out. So I do feel like I said, it feels like it's down the middle. Like someone's wanting to take it to the next level. And I feel like most of the messages have been for the people that's not the case. But we'll see here. Yeah. Okay. What's next in love? Okay. What's next in love? Yeah, there's a lot of fears. Okay. I feel like... So we had this card pop out, the soulmate card, twin flames, soul contracts, soul connection, and past lives. All right. Then we had this came out, ghosted, disappear, silence, ignore, and rejected. So there's someone here who may get ghosted, and that's going to hurt. But there's also someone here who's connecting with their soulmate. Then we have finances here, money, problems, work, material things, and success. So I do feel like finances are playing a part in this. But why I stopped was because this card came out, spiritual awakening, enlightenment, epiphany, life lessons, and rebirth. So there's a rebirth in love. That's what's coming, but it might not be all fluffy and beautiful and wonderful and everything that we've ever wanted. That is, yeah, anxiety. We've got stress, depression, panic attacks, and restless. So, I feel like that's a thing. There's almost like this energy where someone's been trying to rush it with a person. Oh, they fit these descriptions, so I'm gonna make sure that I rush it with this person. And sources just saying, like, calm down. Just step back and allow things to fall as they're going to fall. Like, if you were to stop pressuring as much as you've been pressuring, okay, like if you were to just stop, what would happen? And I already feel the resistance from that, asking that question. Like, I don't want to know what would happen, because what if it fell apart? That's a good question. What if, pile 2, it fell apart? What if it did? And I hear all the excuses. I can't do that. This is my person. I need them in my life. We have a family together. We have all this together. But look, love is meant to be an equal give and take. And if there's not equal give and take here, then it's a one-sided love. And sometimes that's really hard to swallow, because we want it to be something that it's not. But we can't force anything to be what it already isn't. Change. Yeah. Regeneration, growth, metamorphosis, and cycles. This is an ending of cycles. And they're not necessarily pretty cycles. And, again, I wish I was up here giving you they're coming in and this is going to... But look, the cards are very clear. Melania Trump, she's always a hard one for me when she comes out, because there's a lot of backstory with her. And, she's just reminds me of a lot of things, a lot of situations, and thinking about it. And I'm not here to support or to deny anybody, but, like, from an outsider looking in, she's been through a very difficult situation, right? There's a lot of control with that. There's a lot of narcissism with that. There's a lot of overwhelm in that situation. And she's a very powerful woman. And she doesn't... I think she's starting to recognize that. But there was a time where she didn't. Right? Standing silent. And I feel like that's the thing. It's like when you're getting forced... So you could be the one, pile 2, you could be the one that's getting forced into a situation that you wish was better, or you wish just would kind of be like, oh, like, I don't know if this is for me. But the more you stay silent, the more that whoever it is that's trying to force you into a situation. And the same, like maybe you're trying to force someone else. And there's, again, no judgment. That's human. That's human. But it's like whoever is getting forced, the longer that person stays silent, the more that the enforcer is going to believe that, you know, oh, well, so I'm doing the right thing. I need to keep doing this. So it says you never know when you might wake up next to a. It says don't betray yourself in favor of your marriage. Exactly. And I feel like that's the one that's standing out here. Don't betray yourself in favor of your marriage. Don't betray yourself in favor of the relationship. Okay? Keep your friends close. Keep your family closer. Okay? So there's something here about not betraying yourself, not betraying your self-worth, not betraying your value. Okay, wow. Karmic relationship, resentments and triggers. And that's why I'm saying, like, this reading is a huge trigger because it's a lot of stuff coming out. We have perception, intensity and letting go, and turmoil and fleeting. So right away, Source showing us this is a karmic situation that's happening. It doesn't necessarily mean this person's your karmic and, you know, like whatever that is. We're trying to stay away from labels because labels are limiting, but we see the situation unfolding as karmic because it's bringing a lot of triggers. There's something here that personally we need to work on to bring ourselves back into alignment so we can open up to this unconditional love. Self-love and wholeness. This is where we're coming back to. Self-love and wholeness. Affection, attraction, and selflessness. Seeing ourselves as a complete being worthy of love in this moment. Okay? Yeah, self-indulgence. Look at that. Self-worth and value. I cannot make this energy up. It's a very clear message. Time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. So what's happening next in love is to bring you back to a state of self-love on your journey. Look, wow. Whoa! We have another deck coming in with self-worth and expectations. Like, how much more clear can we be? This is an awakening of yourself. Okay? Yeah, the shadow. Look, even shadow work here. We have the shadow side, the moon, the dark night. So this could put you into a dark night of the soul, which is part of a spiritual awakening. It's not fun. It's not pretty. It's not pleasant. It's not something we welcome with open arms. Bring it on, shadow side. Wait, you know, no, nobody's saying that. But I feel like the thing here is that reminder that this isn't going to be easy, but it is going to bring you clarity. Wow, self-care. Look, if you stick it out, the cards will show you the truth of the energy that's coming through. It's just the I'm the channel. The cards will channel what Source wants you to hear, what you need to hear. That's the thing, yeah. And see, this could be you guys are brand new, getting to know each other, right? As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. This could also be Source reminding you that there's someone who wants to come in to get to know you. They actually want to get to know you instead of forcing you into a box or you having to force them into trying to get to know you and open up to you. We want you to stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Okay, and I know this sounds negative. This reading sounds negative, but honesty is not a bad thing, right? That's the thing that Source wants to remind you of. That is, honesty is not a negative thing, okay? And it's not us trying to beat you down or anything like that. This is just a reminder that sometimes when things aren't meant to be, we have to let go so they'll unfold. You deserve love. You are lovable. I say this every day. I am loved, loving, and lovable. And I wake up every morning and that's the first thing I say to myself. And it's such a powerful message because it reminds you that you're surrounded by love. You are love. And you are loving to others. And I feel like this is just helping bring you back to that space of honoring the amazing person that you are. You don't have to change to be loved. Yeah. Why? Wow. The last card, snake. Deception, shady, temptation, enemy. There's a snake in the grass. Like, there's a snake in my boots. Okay. So, yeah, there's a snake in the grass right now. And the thing is I feel like there's love, like, I can't really say love is clouding your perception right now, because it's not love. It's maybe desire is a better way to put it. Desire is clouding your perception of the reality of the situation in front of you, which happens. And that's something that we easily, like they say love makes you blind, but I would say desire and lust make us blind, because when we're actually coming from a place of love, real love, we're very clear about what we want and the intentions that we're putting out there. And this is something that's like ruled by fear. And that's what Source is saying. Like there's an awakening here that's waiting for you to come back to self. Okay, and so regardless if this is someone taking it to the next level or you wanting to take it to the next level, there's a need to draw back to self, because there's something you're not very clearly seeing. So I'm going to take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book. I have to look at this card off camera, though, to make sure that it is camera appropriate. So let's see what we've got. Yeah, this one is definitely not camera appropriate, but I'm going to cover it up here and show you the card. It says incorporate. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely one of those ones that is not camera appropriate, but we're incorporating the lessons, right? We're incorporating these amazing things that we've learned along the journey here. I'm going to leave it there so I can read it from the book. And I feel like this is also just gaining a lot of knowledge about yourself on the journey as well. Like, what is it that you truly want? Instead of just following in line with this is the way things are. No, that's just what everybody thinks that we have to believe, but that's not the reality. That's the illusion. Look, I face my body and I allow it to speak its messages. I observe every thought, conscious and unconscious, that I direct toward my physical self. My body holds me, listens, feels, and manifests itself. So coming back to self, right? If I stop to consider the particles of matter that I am made of, I discover that my body system is vibration. The universe, the planets, and everything that exists is vibrating. It is then necessary to ask myself, how can I make the vibrations that I create and store in my body harmonious? How can I truly feel the life force beating in me? So coming back to balance. In my breathing is the key. In the beating of my heart is the answer. My body, a precious integrated unit, evolved over countless planetary years. My body, a unique experience on this earthly journey. Incarnate. I am lucid, and I question all normalization and acceptance of toxic ideas in relation to my sacred body, ideas that were imposed from the outside. I recover my balance and I bring consciousness to every part of my being. To connect with my physical body is to listen to myself with love. I take care and I nourish myself. I stretch, I rest, I move, and above all, I speak to myself with respect. I'm responsible for how I treated myself and how I treat myself and what I allow into me. I thank my body and my body thanks me back. I celebrate a healthy relationship with myself. The human being has a universe within, full of overlapping frequencies, and the result is a symphony of cosmic proportions. Yeah, so this is all about whatever it is that's happening in your love life, whether that's going to the next level or not. The main message for you of what's happening next in love is an opportunity, pile 2, for you to come back to self, to realign with yourself, not lose yourself along the journey, because there's something that's happening vibrationally that could potentially draw you away from yourself and unground you and put you into a place of repeat cycles that you've already healed from and that you've already gone through. And that's what's happening in love next. And I know it's not necessarily about a relationship, but this was a truly profound and powerful message, because self-love is the best relationship that we can have above all others. Okay? I love you. Here's a big energetic hug. I know life is rough and difficult, but remember your worth and your value. That's the most powerful cards that you have in your arsenal. Okay? So this is what I see here for you today. If you feel like this was your message, leave the little candle emoji down below and say, I return to my internal light, knowing that as I connect, love, and cherish myself, I bring that vibration into my physical world and it is reflected back to me now. And if it resonated, it would make so... Let me try that again. If it resonated with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box below. The clock just turned to 3:33. Just have to put that out there. So powerful spiritual numbers with you and source being present with you today, okay? I want to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this powerful message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Uranus on it, or maybe you were called to this horse pendant, turquoise horse pendant, or perhaps you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what's next in love. We're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. I do things differently here on this channel, so with that being said, if the message does resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. Triggering statements may arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, and keeping in mind that triggers are a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. Your time and your energy are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm honored to be here spending it with you. So with that being said, let's hop to it and find out what's next in love for you, pile 3. What's next in love for pile number 3? What's next in love? All right. Yeah, so very clearly about the relationships today. We've got the 7th house, we've got Capricorn, and we've got Mercury. You know, this is... let me tap into this for a second. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Oh, Jeebus. Okay. So, yeah, it's interesting because I wanted to talk, but I couldn't. Like, my throat was all closed off. And it's because the first thing I was getting was this energy of communication. Someone's coming in to communicate, or there's going to be a lot more open communication here. But it also feels like there's blockages here in regards to the communication. Like, it's almost as if someone here is unable to be 100% honest, and they want to be honest, but you know, like that, like I was gonna say that right off the bat, 2:34 on the clock. I was gonna say that right off the bat, and then it felt like someone just like, oh, I was closing my throat, and all of a sudden I had a cough. And that energy is, it's like, I know what I want to say to you, pile 3, but I don't know how it's going to be perceived or received. And I feel like it is in regards to building a connection, or, you know, going to the next level in the connection. But really from them, it's like, I don't know how I'm going to say it. I don't know what I'm going to do. And so they're holding themselves back. There's also this energy of pessimism that's coming through. And that could be from you, pile 3. It could be from this person. Like, they just don't believe that things are going to work out. And I know that sometimes on our journey, what happens is that, you know, we've gone so far and we've done so much and we still haven't received what we're asking for, i.e. a loving relationship or a certain person even. And we just kind of like throw our hands up in the air and say, I'm done. I'm over it. I don't even want to bother with it anymore. And that's the energy that's coming through. It's like someone just throwing in the towel. Like I don't know if I'll ever get through to pile 3, or pile 3 feeling like you don't know if you're ever going to get through to this person. I do feel like this is this person though. Like I don't feel like this is your energy per se. It does feel like this is this person, but again, energy is fluid, so you could very well be in this energy as well. But it does feel like there's a restriction and there's a block here, and there's also a lot of struggle. Like, you become masters at staying silent. And communication is the change that's necessary for things to begin. And that's the part that's the challenge. That's what's the real challenge here. So let's get some cards out and find out what else is coming through. All the energies have been pretty different, you know. Very, very different, actually. Not always are they. It's like sometimes they just kind of piggyback off of one another, but I do feel like everybody's had very, very different energies here. Also, if you didn't check out the collective message and you feel called to, that is timestamped down in the description box. It might give you some further information and clarity as well. No obligations, but it is there for you if you choose. And then if you chose to stick it out with all 3 piles today and watch them with me, leave a purple heart. That is a part of my Purple Heart Club. And thank you for those of you that spend the entire reading with me. It means a lot. You guys give so much of your energy and time. I truly do appreciate it. And if you are here for pile 3 alone, you are equally as important to me, and I'm just truly blessed to have you along the ride with me. So what is next in love for pile 3, Source? Okay. What is next in love for pile number 3? This wanted to come out in the reverse, and reverse, if I can talk, is talking about red flags. Okay, so what is next in love for pile number 3? And I don't take these in reversals. I just don't. I haven't with this deck for whatever reason. It doesn't mean that I can't read the reversals. I just don't take them in this. Yeah, there's clarity here. And there's a truth to it. There's like a feeling of being tied. My tongue is tied. I can't tell pile 3 how I feel. So why are we talking about this, Source? The Father of Cups. The 9 of Swords. Oh, look at that. And the Father of Pentacles came out in the reverse. That's interesting, because I didn't know it was in the reverse. Okay. I feel like Source is talking about someone in your life that you love. Okay, like this might not necessarily be their next actions. I feel this energy is very strongly like Source wants to tell you something about what's going on in regards to a connection that you have versus what's actually coming next in love. And I feel like that's because this connection is actually potentially blocking a love from coming in. And what I'm seeing here is this energy of someone is very, very tied into the matrix and the material world. And they're very highly driven by money and success, and they do not focus on their emotions. They don't focus on healing their emotions. They are very much like, if anger comes out, they're going to be driven by that anger. They're going to say whatever is on their mind in the moment, whether it's what they truly mean or they don't mean. And this is someone who's driven by that. I'm also seeing a liquor bottle. And I feel like someone here has alcoholism, or they're just they rely on liquor to be their getaway. And so maybe not an alcoholic, but someone who, you know, they go to work, they're functional during the day, they come home and they pull out the hard liquor and they start drinking hard liquor from the time they get home until they go to bed. And you know, like when we're thinking, when I think of alcoholism, I know people are like, well, that's being an alcoholic, but you know, like I see lawyers doing that a lot. I see people of high stress jobs doing that a lot. And in this, it's like, but they're able to wake up the next day. It's like they're not necessarily hungover, but you know, when they're having a bad day or they're in a bad mood, the liquor or the substance that they're relying on, it exacerbates that, and they're not able to think clearly or to communicate clearly. And that's why I'm getting this energy where it's like, this is someone who's not, they're not able to say what they want to say, and that's why they're just like throwing in the towel. It's like, oh, pile 3 is never going to understand me, or I'm not going to be able to get my point across, or I'm not going to be able to really truly tell them how I feel. And it's like, you would think that that would lower their inhibitions, but it's almost as if the substance abuse is what's creating the block, because that's something that they're relying on to give them freedom from day to day, and it's become a crutch instead of, you know, like just something for fun or something, you know, to let loose. It's not that anymore. It's literally a crutch. And so when they're at home, like during the day, they may have no capacity to think about what's going on between you and them. And then when they go home, they're consuming something and they are really, so inebriated came out, but yeah, so their inebriation is what's preventing them from clearly communicating how they feel. And so they see you as somebody, as the Father of Cups here, who's very grounded in your emotions, who's very clear about what you want in your own life and how you show up in your own life. And I feel like that's something that scares them, because that could bruise their ego. If you tell them exactly what you feel from a very honest place, they're not ready to receive that, because this is someone who is still in the matrix and the 3D. They're very stuck in the energy of not being able to come forward. Or this could be somebody that you're already with, but there's definitely a distance that's growing between you. And it's because they feel like they cannot communicate with you. They feel like there's no way for them to be able to be honest in a way that you're going to receive it and not project it back onto them. But again, this is their projection where they're at, right? So this is, again, what Source wants to talk about today is not necessarily what's next, but I feel like this is going to help you understand what's next for you in love, because it's going to help you make a sound decision moving forward. You know, it's like you're both looking into the future, but if you saw when this card came out in the reverse, he's looking, the stag is looking at this 9 of Swords, which was in the reverse, wanting to come out in the reverse. Again, I don't take the reversals, but it tried to come out in the reverse. So we're going to talk about that for just a minute. We're looking at someone who is only concerned with material gain. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care what they do. They don't care what they say. Their next goal is to hit CEO, vice president, president, owner. Like, they don't care who they step on the journey to get there. So I'm only focused on building my wealth, but also I'm not honoring the fact that I have all these red flags. Like, I could be a cheater, I could be an addict, I could be someone who is very verbally abusive, I could be someone who's emotionally abusive, I could be someone who's mentally abusive, right? Like these are things that the red flags that people are thinking about, you know, thinking about people who have an ick for you, right? Like a red flag ick, not just something that's a like a non-negotiable ick, right? Like that's what this is, and that's what's going on. And so it's interesting that both of these wanted to come out in the reverse, and I specifically chose this deck today because I don't do reversals on it for this reading, just to kind of see what would come through, because when source has a message that's not necessarily super uplifting and positive, then source will make sure that the message still gets through, even if I'm not using one of the decks I have reversals on. And so with you being represented by the Father of Cups, their biggest fear is how these red flags appear to you. And for someone who's emotionally stable, like just say, like for instance, we were talking about, I kept seeing the bottle of liquor. Like I see the bottle of liquor and them sitting next to the bottle of liquor and drinking a huge portion of that each day. Not just a cup, like it's like, you know, they're drinking a lot of it and the bottle's just disappearing, and then they get another one and it's like they have a backup, and sometimes they just go to bed with the bottle in hand type energy. And so that could be anything. The liquor can represent any type of addiction. And the thing is that there's this energy that's coming in where it's like they're not willing to give that up to be honest with you. And they also feel like if they came forward and were honest with you about where they're at with this crutch that they have, that you would call them out from a very honest place, and they don't know how they would handle that. Yeah, it would just be the end of them. With the Ten of Swords here, there would be an argument. It would be a lot to take in. They just feel like, you know, that would be the straw that broke the camel's back. They would say something that they really didn't mean, but that would be sure enough to hurt you back. And because you're in a grounded state emotionally, it would drive you away. And I know I hear some of you, you know, I just wish they'd be honest with me. I just wish they would tell me what's going on. But you know, as much as we wish that, we can't force someone to open up to us. We can't force someone to be honest with us. We can only choose to be honest with ourselves and choose to show up in a state of honesty in the world. And so this person's very much driven by something that is, I would say, represented by the devil's energy, some sort of temptation. There's some sort of temptation here that's really, truly affecting them in a very rough way. And they recognize that you're in an empowered state, and so they don't see a potential future here with you, but they do, like they would if you were only to back off, and that's not something that you need to do, right? Like that's not, no one would ever, in the spiritual world or on the spiritual journey, no one would ever expect you to do that. You need to take care of yourself. As I'm saying that, and the Moon card comes out, yeah, satisfying emotional needs, nurturing yourself and others. So the thing here is just to continue to maintain your integrity, because this person is just in, they're fighting. They're fighting to find their footing in this world. And their belief is if I've got, you know, all the money in the world, if I've got everything I could ever want, you know, like if I got everything at my beck and call, then I'll be grounded. But the truth is that if you're empty and you're given every possible tool in the physical world, but you're still emotionally empty, that doesn't fill the void. You're the only one that can fill the void. Not you, pile 3, but like as in self, right? Like self is the only thing that can fill the void. Yeah, Aquarius, originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. Like you're so different from everyone that they've ever met. And they know that their silence is costing precious time with you, but this is someone who's also very emotionally driven. And whoa, okay, so like all these cards came out. Okay, I'll take this one because I feel like this one really wants to be out, but they're very emotionally driven. And like this is someone who, like, they fight, right? With the Ten of Swords here, they fight. They say everything that they're going to say. They expect the person they're with to fight with them and say everything that they're going to say, and then maybe have some wild makeup sex the next day and just forget about whatever hurtful things were said. But that energy is actually incredibly corrosive to our soul and to our hearts, and it's very toxic. And they're not yet in a position where they're ready to honor that. So this could be someone you're not in communication with, considering that they want to message you, but it could be somebody that you're with in your life already, and you're just kind of feeling that distance that's gaining, that feels like the distance is gaining traction instead of being brought closer together. And you might have suggested like couples therapy, or just let's talk about it, like let's have date night, let's do anything, like let's get together and try to balance things out here. But it just feels like they're just very closed off right now. Yeah, magic works through you. I feel like this is really Source reminding you that love is about you spreading your wings and flying free. Love is not something that is controlling. It's not manipulative, and it's not dishonest. Love is a very honest thing. And in order for you to come into a state of love and empowerment, like being honest with yourself allows yourself to be free. And what that means for you, what does freedom mean to you? And that's going to be different for everybody, but finding what freedom means to you and then taking that and running with it. What's next in love for pile number 3? Yeah, okay, interesting. So this flipped over. We have act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are always with you, or they are with you. Let me try that again. Again, the communication on this pile, it's like all kind of jumbled and weird and blah, blah, blah. It says act as if they are with you, so you will always consider them. And that's the thing. I feel like you do that. Whether this person's in your life or not, you act as if they already are, or that they're always with you, because you're always being considerate of them. But I feel like that's also needs to be twofold, right? Like that needs to be reciprocated. And if they're not acting that way for you, that's showing a sign of disrespect, and that's showing a lack of integrity. And that's what I feel like Source is pointing out here. It's like, it's great that you're willing to do that, but you deserve, pile 3, someone to reciprocate that to you. Yeah, actions speak loudly. This card always makes you think of actions speak louder than words, right? And right now, I feel like this person isn't even saying any words to begin with, so it's not like you really have anything to base it on except for their actions, which can be a good thing. It can also be a very disheartening thing. So express your love through actions. And that's what I feel like Source is asking you. Are they expressing their love through actions? Like, are they showing up for you? Are they supporting you? Are they, respecting you? Are they honoring it when you need time to talk? Like, are they showing up to talk to you too? Like, what's happening here? And I feel like you need to make a decision moving forward for yourself. And whether that is leaving, staying, drawing away, whatever that is, the only way you're going to find the right answer is honoring the honesty within your heart right now. Yeah, we've got Queen Victoria. I would venture to warn against too great of intimacy with artists, as it is very seductive and a little dangerous. Interesting. It says no girl would go to the altar if she knew all. And the important thing is not what they think of me, but what I think of them. And that is the one that's standing out the most. But all 3 of these are really relevant to the situation. But the family one here, the important thing is not what they think of me, but what I think of them. And I feel like the thing is that you're such a loving person, and you're so generous and loyal. And it's like almost loyal to a fault, right? Like, our loyalty can absolutely fault us. It doesn't mean that we're wrong, but it's like we can sometimes let our pride get in the way and be like, well, I'm this loyal person and I would never, ever do that. But sometimes it's like, at what point we have to step back and say, when is enough enough? And I feel like that's what Source is asking you right now. Like, when is enough enough in this situation? And if you say we've reached that point, what's the next step for you, pile 3? What does that look like? Because, you know, we can tell you exactly what to do, but if you don't make that decision for yourself, it's not going to stick, right? Like, I could be that friend and saying, like, this is the worst person ever for you. Like, what the heck are you doing? Why are you dating them? But as I say those words, I already felt some of you start to tense up and be like, well, who the heck are you? What right do you have to tell me that? That's exactly why, especially as a reader and a channel of source and source energy coming through, like, we'll give you the guidance, right? We'll give that to you, but ultimately the choice has to be yours, because if we make the choice for you, it will never stick, right? If I tell you to leave and you leave today, tomorrow you're going to question whether that was the right thing, because you never stopped to think about it for yourself. You were just like, I'm just going to take this advice and I'm just going to go with it and run with it, and I'm not going to roll it around with my intuition. And that's why it's so important when you watch any kind of readings to always trust your intuition and to sit with it too. Sit with messages that you receive and ask, is this what it's leading me towards? Like, what's the best possible outcome for myself? The wisdom you gain from yourself is invaluable. We have the Marquis de Sade, and it says, it is always by way of pain one arrives at pleasure. So this is already a very painful situation, okay? It says, either kill me or take me as I am, because I'll be damned if I ever change. So, and I'm, again, this is someone who's driven by their emotional ego, right? They don't want to change. So certain souls may seem harsh to others, but it's just a way of caring and feeling more deeply. And I feel like this is just saying, this is a message, right? Like, the message is you clicked on it because you wanted to know what was next in love, but it doesn't feel like it. It seems like a very harsh message. But sometimes the harsh reality and finding the truth in what's going on in life can actually be the most loving thing that we do. And sometimes giving that to ourselves is a true gift. It seems rotten sometimes, but it's actually more beautiful than you might imagine. But it's trusting that process too, right? What's next in love for pile 3 source? What more would you like to say? Poker face. Yeah, someone's playing the game. Taking a chance, risks and options, not showing the hand, and gambling. Someone's playing a game here with you, pile 3, and you don't deserve that. Regardless of the role that this person has played in your life. It's almost as if it's what I'm getting is this energy from you, pile 3. It's like when things happen, right? Like, say you watch other readings, and if other readings point towards this, you might be someone who immediately clicks off and says, that's not my reading, until you find a reading that tells you what you want to hear, right? Or you find someone who tells you what you want to hear. Oh, stay with them. They're the best possible thing for you. But there's something that's really grating at your soul right now that really feels imbalanced. And you're recognizing that, and you're like, I don't know, like, I just don't think I want to keep going with that. And so if you've stuck it out this long, just know that I'm so proud of you, because hearing some of these messages are hard, but I get it. I've read tarot now for 9 years, and I do my own readings, and I've done that too. I didn't like the message that Source gave me. I put all the cards back and started over asking the same question. And I tell you what, if I don't leave confused in situations like that, then I wasn't doing it right, because every time I do that, I get more confused than when I started. If I had just listened to the messages that came through, I would have gained the wisdom in that moment. And it's hard. It's so challenging, because, you know, it's like, oh, we think that it's wrong if it's not someone saying, yes, it's everything you've ever wanted. Yes, it's this. We live in a harsh reality. And that means that sometimes there's going to be very harsh truths that come out. And even Source, you know, is a bearer of bad news at times, right? Like, we just open up to that and recognize that no one is free from the human experience. No one is free from the good, the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly. We all experience that. But what Source is trying to do in situations like this is prepare us so that we can choose a different situation now. But we're resistant. We hold on, and when we hold on, we might go through the heartbreak. And it's not that the heartbreak is necessarily a bad thing. I have the hiccups all of a sudden. 1 second. The heartbreaks can be powerful lessons for us. Do you deserve this? No, you don't deserve this at all. But I also feel like it's just something here is, look, this is a very interesting message. Something here is old. It's outdated, right? We have outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. I replay it over and over again, 'cause it's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. I replay it over and over again. But look at these two cards. They're very black and white. This or that. Yes or no. Hot and cold. But nothing in this reality is black and white. It's all technicolor, and there's different varying shades of grays, and you know, like nothing is yes or no. There's so much that goes into it, and I feel like that's what Source is pointing out. There's like some sort of black and white thinking that's coming in here that might be preventing you from seeing the situation in its clarity, in its truth. Right? And we're trying to help bring you back to this place of recognizing that there's so much more that's going on than what you might be able to see because of a limiting pattern, right? Yeah, see, we have teddy bear, interested in you, blooming romance, flirting, and wanting to date. And I feel like this is where you're at. Like, you're very interested in this person. You want things to bloom. You want things to happen with this person. But there's something here that's preventing that from happening the way that you want. And I do feel like it's the energy that this person's in. It's just not in resonance with where you're going. Yeah, look, we've got fate coming out, detours and divine intervention, right? Something here has to change. And so it feels like Source coming in and saying, no, we have to reroute this bus. It's just not on the right path. Okay, someone here is closed off. They're guarded, very resistant. And I feel like, again, this black and white energy coming out here. I mean, look at this contrast compared to these three cards. This is a huge contrast compared to these three cards. So, you know, there's this energy that's coming in of letting go of the resistance so that you can open up to receiving what it is that you're meant to receive. What's next in love for pile number 3, Source? What's next in love for pile number 3? Okay, they want 2 more. What's next in love for pile number 3, Source? I feel like one of these is upside down. Am I wrong? No. Okay, really. Oh, okay. The one I thought was upside down fell out of the deck when I was looking, so that's the one that wanted to come out. Yeah. This is a difficult, challenging reading for sure. Yeah, so we have the Ace energy, Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Stability comes when you let go of resistance, when you let go of obstinance, right? Sometimes we get very obstinate on our journey. It's like, no, it has to be XYZ. It has to go like this. It has to be the way I want it to be. You know, just from really tapping into the spiritual journey for almost a decade now. Actually, I guess it's been 11 years this year. You know, tapping into this, I've recognized that nothing ever goes the way that we plan. Nothing. Okay? So, trusting that everything is unfolding the way that it's meant to, and that really we have little to no control over how that happens. Oh no, it's this one. It's this one. I got that song in my head now. It's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. Yeah, okay, this is interesting. So we have flirt coming in here with extend your lighthearted energy to others. Coming back to that lighthearted energy, feel like that's taking care of yourself. But on the bottom, we have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. And we have detours with divine intervention. So I feel like Source is trying to reroute you to the person that's meant to be in your life. And it could be this person too. It could be, but right now they kind of need... Oh my gosh, my mom just came in. Okay, that was cute, Mom. Thanks. So my mom, when we were growing up, she just reminded me, but this is what she was saying. She's like, they need a come to Jesus meeting. If you've never heard that before, I grew up learning that a come to Jesus meeting was where we all sit down and we talk about it. And we talk about the good and we talk about the bad, and we're not afraid to bring up things. Now, was it always a safe space? No, it wasn't always a safe space. But the thing is that it's interesting that my mom would come in right now and that's what she was saying. So maybe this could be a message from your mom who's passed on. This could be a message from someone who is a Cancer who passed on as well. Like, they're trying to help lead you through this, and they see your heart broken, and they see you suffering, and they see you struggling in this situation, and they want you to come back to that lighthearted energy that they know that you possess. This person needs to have an awakening of sorts to come back to reality. Back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity. Yep, that makes sense. They need to be flipped on their heads because they're just very stuck. They're very stuck, okay? Like, we've got single here. Alone, isolation, lonely, and guarded. We've got guarded here as well. So you could be single. They could be single right now. You think this person's going to come in and talk to you soon. I mean, they're alone. And they're isolated and they don't want to let anybody in. And I feel like whatever it is that they're relying on as a crutch is keeping them even more isolated and more guarded, right? So even if you're with this person and in the physical, like, that's why. Like, they're feeling alone and they don't feel like you understand them, and they don't feel like you're ever going to understand them. You know, the reconciliation, right? Reunion, second chance, back together, and I miss you. Right? I feel like this is you wishing for this reconciliation. Like, come back to me. I miss you. This card is peeking out here. Yeah, truth. Yeah, so a lot of truth on your reading. Confessions, clarity, revealing secrets. Yeah, so I feel like that's the thing. It's like sources just showing, like, you do want this reconciliation. And it's understandable, especially for as much as you care about this person. I want to get an angel message for you because your message was just really heavy. And let's see if we can get some angel guidance here for pile number 3 on what's next in love. Whoa, okay, 111 coming out, and I'm going to take that. So we do have alignment flipping over here. Your thoughts are manifesting rapidly. Trust in the divine guidance and stay focused on your goals. Yeah, so part of your divine guidance here, your angel message is to trust and to have faith in the process. Whether it's what we want or we don't want, it doesn't mean that it's bad, right? Shift. So we have 565. Take a look at your life and see which areas need to be shifted to bring you more joy. Take the time to reassess your priorities and to create a plan for yourself. Okay, it's about shifting your energy back to a state of balance. Also, back to reality, right? You need to come back to reality too, instead of living in this is like a dark realm, it feels like. Okay, so we've got, yeah, take the lead, stag spirit. You're gonna have to take control, and we have the stag on both cards here, right? For the King of Coins and the stag coming out. And so it's like you're gonna have to be the one that takes the lead here. You either initiate the conversation and see how that pans out, or you choose what's best for you in this moment, because you're heartbroken, deeply hurt and sad, feeling lost, grieving and despair, breakup. You are heartbroken, and with just cause. This is a very difficult situation, right? This could be because of somebody that you're engaged to or with currently. This could be a labeled relationship. We have higher commitment, eternity, partnership, and union and completion. But they want you to come back to this place of having hope for your love life again. And I feel like there's just a lot of hopelessness around you. And like, you might be watching this in hopes that things are going to balance out. But I feel like the main thing for you, pile 3, is balancing out your own energy. Yeah, needing time. Cycles and takes time. Time to heal and progressing. Yeah, this is you needing time. Finding a way to nurture and be compassionate with yourself. Also, again, Cancerian energy is coming in, highly aspect. Cancer in Venus, Cancer in the 5th house, Cancer in the 12th house. I'm hearing a stellium in the 4th house is coming through as well. Okay. Celebration. We're trying to bring back the abundance the blessings into your life, but they may be blocked because of this situation, right? This is a heavy situation, and it's not like you're doing it on purpose. It's not like you're saying, let me block my blessings. That's not what you're doing. It's just when we're not feeling good about ourselves, we're not in a state of receptivity. And I feel like this is something that's definitely weighing on your heart. Yeah, storm, unexpected. So there is something unexpected on the horizon in regards to this situation. And I feel like, you know, again, with this card, the fate card coming out, this is a divine detour for you coming in, okay? A lot of lightning, like source coming in with the lightning here. A lot of lightning on in your energy. And sometimes lightning can be so unexpected and sudden. And I don't know if you've been in thunderstorms where the thunder actually is really scary. Okay, thunder doesn't bother me. I grew up listening to thunderstorms, but when I went to the ocean, I was right next to the ocean last time in Galveston. Thunderstorms in Galveston are something else. The thunder there shook the walls. And I mean, my dog, who's already afraid of thunderstorms, when it would have a thunderstorm there, she literally could not move from the fear of the storm itself. And I would scream sometimes because of the thunder and how loud it was. Unexpected. Okay, and so I feel like for them to bring that up, that's the energy here that's coming in. It's like something here is going to be what seems scary, but it's going to hold a great purpose, and it's going to help you come back to alignment on your journey. A good affirmation for you, pile 3, would be, I give you permission, source, to interfere in my life as you see fit to help realign me with my path of purpose. It's a very powerful affirmation that you can use. It is safe for you to love. Yeah, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So coming back to understanding that you are deserving and worthy of love, but it's also safe for you to love. But yeah, love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And I feel like loving yourself first has been really hard in this situation. And it could be because of old beliefs. It could be because of people who are saying like, oh, you have to hold on. You know, there's a lot of black and white thinking here, right? Black and white, black and white. What's going to be suddenly shifted for you is your thinking. This is the way you see it. That's what's going to bring a lot of clarity. You're going to suddenly get an insight, and you're going to be like, wow, I've been holding on to something for so long thinking it had to be ABC, when really you're all the way at XYZ, baby. You know? Okay, social media, spying, online dating, reminiscing, networking. So this person could be spying on you. You could be spying on this person to try and figure out what the hey is going on. Okay, heartbreak again. Because they hurt you. There's betrayal here. There's grief. There's disappointment. I thought things were going to be okay. I thought we were going to be okay. But there's interference here. Cheating, competition, mistress, third party. Again, I was getting the bottle of alcohol, so some sort of substance abuse was coming in. But, you know, sex addiction is a very real thing. So there's anything here, but there's a lot of interference here. And there's this feeling like I don't feel good enough because they're always going towards the third party. They're making me an option. You were never an option. You were never an option. And you're not an option. Okay? Like, you are a first class, lovable, marriage material person. And if you don't believe that about yourself, it's going to be hard to find someone who sees that about you. So I feel like this is sort of reminding you to come back to realigning with yourself. You may resonated with one of the other readings as well. And again, that's just, I won't tell you which one it is, but if you were drawn to another pile, you might find some further clarity in that as well. Okay. So I have to look at this card off the camera to make sure it's camera appropriate. If not, then I'm going to have to cover part of it up. So let me see. Okay. Yeah, no, this is good. We've got Space-Time Weaver. Yeah, this is about coming back to your creative self. Okay, this is about recreating the life that you want. Weaving your life into existence. Space-Time Weaver. Okay, let's see what she says. And time, like divine timing. You got a lot of time on your reading. Time references, right? The hourglass here, divine intervention, divine timing, like at play. Today life woke me up from a great slumber. This is that lightning bolt. A lethargy of dark and cold times that were in fact perfect and allowed the light that inhabits this very moment to shine brighter. So moving away from the black and white energy, right? It says, I take off an archaic mask, an old way of thinking. I observe all the judgments I make and all the things I didn't give myself. I stop labeling my emotions as good or bad. With newfound awareness, I embrace the fact that emotions simply are. They are natural expressions of an inner reality, of a need. I now look at my life as a living fabric with its patterns, figures, and colors. I appreciate the beautiful and subtle pieces of art I have been creating. I incorporate new and diverse colors into my fabric. I integrate in me what I had previously separated, thus allowing my wings to open. I embrace my variety, loving myself and feeling proud of myself. Tenderness. I allow what is happening to me to flow and tenderly embrace the complexity of my emotions. Looking at my path differently means being gentle with myself. It requires understanding, giving in sometimes, and rethinking with the most beautiful imagination. I am rooted in the certainty that there is still much love to be lived. Yeah, so coming outside of the box and stepping back into a space of love for yourself, right? You owe that to yourself, and you deserve that. And it's difficult, especially when you felt so stuck for so long. And I'm so sorry that this is what's come out for you, but just know that you're not alone. You're deeply loved. Here's a big energetic hug for you, pile number 3. I love you so much. You're so beautiful, and you deserve to see yourself as the amazing, incredible person that you are. Okay? So this is what I see here for you today. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little mushroom emoji down below and say, I choose to step away from all that has made me hold on to the past and step into my future with freedom, with clarity, and with peace. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. With that being said, I want to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message today. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.